The Marvel Cinematic Universe continues its credits scene tradition, as every Phase 4 movie or show has had at least one post-credits scene to set up future events. From the beginning of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige has utilized end credits scenes, with Iron Man's tag casting Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, in the shared universe. The importance of these scenes often varies, as viewers might see something as significant as Thanos' debut in the Avengers post-credits or a funny gag like another Captain America PSA in Spider-Man: Homecoming's post-credits. The same variance remains in the MCU Phase 4 post-credits scenes. Marvel Studios kicked off Phase 4 in 2021 after COVID-19 forced a massive hiatus. The slate began at the start of the year with WandaVision, which became the first MCU Disney Plus show. Audiences had to wait until May 2021 to see the first Phase 4 movie in Black Widow. Overall, the first year of the multiverse saga delivered 4 movies and 5 Disney Plus shows. Marvel has already signaled that the shared universe is not going away anytime soon, with the confirmation of Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars concluding Phase 6 in 2025. However, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is the final project of Phase 4. Thanks to Marvel's love of post-credits scenes and an even bigger slate of productions, there are nearly 24 MCU Phase 4 post-credits scenes. These scenes retain the same practices that Marvel Studios has been using for over a decade. They have been used to tease future MCU projects, introduce brand new characters, and give audiences an extra laugh or two. Here is every MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene and what they set up explained. WandaVision Episode 7: Ralph Bohner kidnaps Monica Rambeau. WandaVision Episode 7 post-credits scene is the first of MCU Phase 4 in terms of release order. The scene showed Monica Rambeau, Tiona Paris, using her newfound powers to detect the energy around Agnes, Agatha Harkness' house. She is caught by Ralph Bohner, Evan Peters, who knocks her out. WandaVision paid off this tease relatively quickly, as viewers learned Ralph was keeping Monica hostage in the season finale. In this instance, the post-credits scene was not directly setting a future storyline up but instead took Monica out of the picture. WandaVision Episode 8: Sword creates White Vision. The WandaVision Episode 8 post-credits scene is a bit more important for the MCU. The scene shows Sword finally being able to create White Vision, Paul Bettany, their remade version of the original Synthezoid but without his memories. White Vision's MCU debut immediately set up his role in the WandaVision finale, where he served as a temporary antagonist to Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Fake Vision. Since White Vision left the series abruptly and his fate was not clarified, this Phase 4 post-credits scene becomes more important as it gives the MCU room for more Vision adventures. WandaVision Episode 9: Skrulls recruit Monica Rambeau. The first of the WandaVision finale's post-credits scenes came during the middle of the credits and continued Monica Rambeau's story. The tag showed an undercover Skrull meeting with Monica to discuss going to space to reunite with an old friend of her mom's. Due to the confirmation that Monica Rambeau will return in the Marvels, this scene should be part of the MCU setup for her next appearance. It is also possible Monica and the Skrull will return in Secret Invasion first. Either way, the MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene confirms Monica's story will continue in an exciting fashion. WandaVision Episode 9 Scarlet Witch uses Darkhold hears the twins. The WandaVision finale included another post-credits scene that directly set up her return in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The scene showed Wanda living in isolation and using her astral form to study the Darkhold. This led to her hearing the voices of her twin boys, Billy and Tommy, screaming out and asking for her help. The WandaVision post-credits scene made it clear that finding her children would be a big part of Scarlet Witch's story in Doctor Strange 2. It also signaled the Darkhold that helped turn her into an MCU Phase 4 villain. Falcon Winter Soldier Episode 5 John Walker creates his shield. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 5 included a brief post-credits scene. It showed John Walker, Wyatt Russell, working in a garage and crafting his makeshift version of the Captain America shield. This came directly after he lost the mantle for killing one of the Flag Smashers. The scene teased how Walker would still suit up in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier ending, and the MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene ultimately helped set up his future as U.S. agent. Falcon Winter Soldier Episode 6 Power Broker gains more power. Another MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene came with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 6. It featured Sharon Carter, Emily Van Camp, receiving her pardon from the government and being reinstated at her old job. Her future as the power broker makes this more critical, as Sharon is last seen calling someone to tell them about their even greater access and resources. It is not confirmed what Marvel is setting up with this scene, but there is a good chance projects like Armor Wars, Thunderbolts, or Captain America: New World Order will be the answer. Black Widow, Yelena Belova goes to kill Hawkeye. The first MCU Phase 4 movie post-credits scene came with Black Widow. Audiences saw Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, go to Natasha Romanoff's grave and meet with Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Here, Valentina gives Yelena her next mission, killing Clint Barton, Jeremy Renner. Hawkeye is framed for Black Widow's death in this scene, and a heartbroken Yelena is ready for revenge. This MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene directly set up Yelena's return in Hawkeye, where she ultimately learned the truth about Natasha's death. Loki Episode 4 Loki meets his multiverse variant. Audiences were thrown for a loop in Loki Episode 4's post-credits scene after another fake-out death for Tom Hiddleston's character. The scene shows him arriving in the Void and encountering 4 variants of himself: Kid Loki, Alligator Loki, Boastful Loki, and Classic Loki. This set up the final 2 episodes of Loki, with Episode 5 primarily taking place in the Void and showing the interaction between Loki and his many variants. The MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene could become even more important in the future if Kid Loki returns for Young Avengers. Loki Episode 6 Loki Season 2 confirmation. There was also a fun tag included on Loki Episode 6. The post-credits scene showed Loki's case file for the Time Variance Authority, which was then stamped with a marking that confirmed Loki Season 2 was happening. This became the first instance of a Marvel Disney Plus show getting a second season. This scene sets up Loki Season 2, which is officially part of the MCU Phase 5 slate of projects. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi: The Avengers Investigate the Ten Rings. The first Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings post-credits scene continued to integrate Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, into the larger universe. He and Katie, Aquafina, meet with Wong, Benedict Wong, in the Sanctum Sanctorum and talk to Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, and Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, through holograms about the Ten Rings weapons he now possesses. They alert him of the beacon hidden inside and welcome him to the circus, making Shang-Chi an Avenger. Shang-Chi's post-credits scene sets up his return as a significant character in the multiverse saga, as well as the mystery of who or what the Ten Rings are calling out to. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Xialing revamps the Ten Rings. The final Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings post-credits scene put emphasis on the Ten Rings organization founded by Wenwu. Following the movie's events, Xialing, Minzhong, disregarded Shang-Chi's wishes to close down the base and instead revamped the organization to match her vision. This means allowing women to train as assassins. Since the scene ends with a mention that the Ten Rings will return, it is clear that this MCU Phase 4 post-credits tag is meant to set up their place as a big piece of the future. This will likely happen in Shang-Chi 2 or the often-rumored Ten Rings-focused Disney Plus series. What if Episode 9 Captain Carter finds Hydra Stomper? Disney Plus subscribers saw the first ever animated MCU post-credits scene in Phase 4 with What If. Episode 9. The season finale showed Peggy Carter's return to her original universe and work alongside Black Widow in the present day. Natasha alerts Peggy about one of her discoveries, leading Captain Carter to see the familiar Hydra Stomper armor again and learn that Steve Rogers is still inside. This sets up the continuation of Captain Carter's story that will unfold in What If Season 2. Eternals, Eros Pip recruit. The Eternals audiences were introduced to two new characters in Eternals mid-credits scene. The tag showed Eros, Harry Styles, and Pip the Troll, Patton Oswalt, arriving on the Eternals ship and meeting Thena, Angelina Jolie, Makkari, Lauren Riddoff, and Druig, Barry Kogan. Thanos' brother reveals that he is there to help his fellow Eternals and rescue those taken by Arishem. It would seem Eternals' post-credits scene set up a sequel, but it is also possible that this storyline will continue in some form in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. Eternals, Blade joins the MCU meets Dane Whitman. Eternals post-credits scene delivered another major MCU debut as Mahershala Ali's Blade voice is heard. The scene primarily focuses on Dane Whitman, Kit Harington, as he receives the ebony blade from his uncle. After Dane reads the inscription and the curse that comes with the sword, he begins reaching for the weapon but stops when he hears Blade say, "Sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman." The most obvious implication with this MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene is that Dane Whitman will return in Blade, which could be where Kit Harington finally gets to put on the Black Knight armor. Spider-Man: No Way Home post-credits. Venom returns to Sony, but the symbiote remains. Spider-Man: No Way Home's mid-credits scene is all about setting up Tom Holland's MCU future. The scene focuses on Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock after he jumped to the MCU in Venom: Let There Be Carnage's post-credits scene. However, all audiences see as Eddie Brock and Venom returning to Sony's Spider-Man universe without crossing over with Holland's web slinger. There is hope of the MCU Spider-Man meeting Venom, though, since part of the Black symbiote is left behind in the MCU timeline. This Phase 4 post-credits scene sets up Spider-Man eventually getting the Black symbiote suit, possibly even in Avengers: Secret Wars, to mirror the comics. Hawkeye Episode 6 Rogers, the musical. Those who stuck around for Hawkeye Episode 6's post-credits scene were treated to a surprise, an entire scene from Rogers, the musical. The Disney Plus show briefly included the musical based on Steve Rogers' life in the first episode, but Marvel Studios brought real Broadway stars aboard to make it believable. Since there was not much attention on the performance in the series, Hawkeye's post-credits scene gives audiences a chance to see the final product of all their hard work. Moon Knight Episode 6 Meet Jake Lockley. Moon Knight Episode 6 treated audiences to another MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene. It began with Arthur Harrow, Ethan Hawke, in a psychiatric hospital and showed him being escorted out by a mysterious individual. The Moon Knight post-credits scene revealed that this was Moon Knight's third alter, Jake Lockley. The debut of Jake Lockley paid off the various teases included in the show of a third alter, teasing that he will now factor into Moon Knight's MCU future. While Stephen Grant and Mark Spector now live in harmony and without Khonshu, Jake Lockley gaining control will make Moon Knight's future even more unpredictable. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange-Clea team up. The first Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness post-credits scene could be among the most important for the multiverse saga. It begins with Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, walking through the street when he is greeted by Clea, Charlize Theron, and she needs his help to stop a multiverse incursion that he supposedly helped cause. The Phase 4 post-credits scene sees them jump through a portal into the Dark Dimension, teasing a new multiverse adventure between them. While this was thought to be setting up Loki Season 2 or Doctor Strange 3, it is also possible that Doctor Strange and Clea's adventure will pick up in Avengers, The Kang Dynasty or Avengers, Secret Wars. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Pizza Papa returns. Audiences are left with a fun gag in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness second post-credits scene. It features Bruce Campbell as Pizza Papa, where viewers see the end of Strange's spell that forces him to punch himself in the face repeatedly. Pizza Papa then breaks the fourth wall and exclaims, "It's over." The scene is seemingly just a fun way to play with audience expectations with the MCU post-credits scenes and does not set up the future, unless Pizza Papa is going to come back. Ms. Marvel Episode 1 Damage Control becomes Kamala's enemy. The first episode of Ms. Marvel includes a post-credits scene. It shows two agents for Damage Control as they watch footage from Avengers Con and see Kamala Khan's powers in action. Fascinated by this discovery and a bit fearful of her as a potential threat, the Ms. Marvel post-credits scene sets up Damage Control as villains for the rest of the series. Agent Cleary is featured more in the background going forward, but Agent Deaver relentlessly hunts down Jersey City's new hero. In addition to setting up the organization's antagonistic role in Ms. Marvel, it also paves the way for them to continue hunting down powered individuals moving forward. Thor, Love and Thunder. Zeus orders Hercules to kill Thor. Thor, Love and Thunder's mid-credits scene introduced Hercules to the MCU in an epic tease. After showing Zeus, Russell Crowe is still alive, the god orders his powerful son Hercules, Brett Goldstein, to get revenge on Thor, Chris Hemsworth. The short tease is all about setting up the future clash between Hercules and Thor. Although it would seem that Thor 5 is the place where this could happen, audiences could also see the two gods fight in another multiverse saga movie. At the very least, this MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene is a promise that Hercules and Thor will face off at some point. Thor, Love and Thunder. Jane Foster arrives in Valhalla. The big surprise of Thor, Love and Thunder's post-credits scene came when Jane Foster, Natalie Portman, arrived in Valhalla, the Asgardian afterlife. She is greeted by Heimdall, Idris Elba, and welcomed into the realm. This could be read as a conclusion for Jane's story, but Marvel is more likely setting up Mighty Thor's return in some fashion. This has happened in the comics, with Thor helping bring Jane back to life. Marvel could then make a solo Mighty Thor project potentially, or make her a new Valkyrie tasked with protecting the realm. Ms. Marvel Episode 6 Kamala Carol Danvers switch places. Those who watched Ms. Marvel Episode 6 were also treated to a big post-credits scene surprise when Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, appeared. The scene began with Ms. Marvel's bangle beginning to shine and then warping her into the closet. However, Ms. Marvel's credits scene reveals that this action caused Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan to switch places, with the Avenger now stuck in a room covered with her merchandise. This sets up the story of the Marvels, as the scene was even filmed with the movie's crew. The Phase 5 movie will feature Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel teaming up, which is clearly what this MCU Phase 4 post-credits scene is setting up. Key release dates: Black Panther, Wakanda Forever release date, the 11th of November 2022. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania release date, the 17th of February 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 release date, the 5th of May 2023. The Marvels, Captain Marvel 2 release date, the 28th of July 2023. Captain America, New World Order release date, the 3rd of May 2024. Marvel's Thunderbolts release date, the 26th of July 2024. Avengers, The Kang Dynasty release date, the 2nd of May 2025. Avengers, Secret Wars release date, the 1st of May 2026.